At some point, the Lord gave me the plan. Thank you, Jesus. So I don't want to leave you with the same feeling that I had. To assess a situation, I'm going to use an iconic cultural reference. This is the one the Lord gave me. Does everybody remember that iconic television show, I Love Lucy? Everybody knows her. Now, 90% of people get this question right. What's the most popular episode of I Love Lucy? The Chocolate Factory, right. Now I want you to think about that episode. How many characters are in the scene? Yep, Lucy and Ethel. But the Lord said the most important character is the invisible character. There's a character that's driving the entire scene. That character is the conveyor belt. He said, that's conservatives and liberals. What? He said, conservatives are standing at the end of the conveyor belt, and they're trying to manage all of these issues. Second Amendment, marriage, immigration, LGBT, CRT, Common Core. They're exhausted. You're never going to catch them all. The left, they are the conveyor belt. They have 50 million chocolates on their conveyor belts. That conveyor belt is called K through 12. You are never going to catch them all. Now I'm going to ask you some other questions. Has anybody heard of AOC? Has anybody heard of Ilhan Omar? Has anybody heard of Barack Obama? Did you know where they were? Did you know who they were when they were 10 years old? They were chocolates on the conveyor belt. So you're standing at the end of the conveyor belt waiting for them to be a problem. Isn't it simpler just to shut down the conveyor belt? As long as they own the conveyor belt, there is nothing you can do to reverse the trends. You can win a few issues here and there, but you will never reverse the course of our 100-year march towards the left. Here's the good news. Even when we don't have a plan, the Lord has a plan. After the Lord drip, drip, drip the plan into me, he said, the church has 100% of everything they need to reverse the enemy, 100%. One day the Lord said, how many government schools are there? I said, I don't know. I looked it up. There are 99,000 government schools. Then he said, how many churches are there? I don't know, but I looked it up. There are 330,000 churches in America. Then he said, in what world can 330,000 not beat up 99,000? Yep, there are 330,000 churches in America, and 90% of them sit empty 90% of the time. More good news. I had a lot of bad news, but I had to cut it out. At one point, I asked the Lord, where are we going to get the money? And he said, you already have the money. And I said, I don't have any money. And the Lord said, look up charity in America. For that year that I looked up, Americans had given away $326 billion in charity. That was just giving it away. I did a rough math. I used $5,000 a year for tuition, which we could get to with scale. That would finance 65 million kids in private school. Wait a minute. We only have 50 million kids in the government schools. and we give away enough money to finance 65 million. Good news, we don't need the left to change their mind. We don't need the left to come into agreement. We don't need a rally. We don't need legislation. We don't need the teachers union. And we don't need to take over 13,000 school boards. And we don't need 1 penny from the government. Yes, I understand you want your taxpayer money back, but that's not necessary to execute a plan. All we need is the church to do what they are commanded to do. We need the church to train them up in the way they should go, and when they are old, they will not depart. And my message to parents and the church is clear. My life is a walking, talking billboard for why Christian parents must run, not walk, your children out of government schools. If I had to condense my message to one sentence, it will be, build K through 12 or die.